Phillips. It's your boy, Jaylen, your fraternity brother, all the way from Orlando, Florida. Just wanted to let you know that Humble season is over. Humble season has been canceled, all right? Like, walking into 2020, we got to go with the spirit of excellence. You got to ask yourself, does your self-assurance make other people uncomfortable? Do your networking skills give other people pause? Is your hustle too hot for them to handle? Are the awards that you've garnered too much for them to digest? It's no longer for you to think about. These questions, they're not for you to worry about. And that goes for anybody that's listening. If anything that you want, go get it. You see that award, apply for it. You see that job description, you may not have the qualifications, go after it. Humble season has been officially canceled for 2020. Walk with a spirit of excellence and know that excellence is in your DNA, all right? Love you, bro. Take care. 2020, let's get it.
Welcome to Positive Filter with your host, Philip Wilkerson, a podcast that focuses on friends, family, health, and career with a little self-help around the way. Please join me in this journey for self-improvement, and I hope that what I have to share will make you a better person, thus making the world a better place. Hey, Positive Filter listeners, it's Philip Wilkerson. Thank you for that intro from my fraternity brother, Jaylen Christie, down in Orlando. He's really been a great support for me this past 2019, and I know that he's going to continue to be a great support for me in 2020, which is what we are now. We're in the new year, new decade. And so I want to just kind of bring up the concept that he said, no humble season. For you, the listeners, you probably seen, or if you really follow along with me, that 2019 was just a year of so much success for me that I've never seen on that scale before. Really doing well at my job, really doing well. Particularly, I felt doing well in my home life with my boys and feeling like I was more comfortable as a father. Getting back to a good place with my wife, back to a good place in our relationship and communication and really seeing each other. And so 2019 was a really, really good year, but I'd like to, kind of dial it back. For some listeners that may not know, 2018, early 2018 was a really dark, low point for me. And so I'm really proud that there was a really, I would say, complete 180 turnaround from 2018 to 2019. And the story I kind of use why I say no humble season was I had just gotten awarded Employee of the Month at my institution. And while I was at the award ceremony, it was just wonderful. They were saying praises and accolades about me. My dad said, son, I'm proud of you, but remember, be humble. And, that is a great lesson. I think it's very appreciative, but I don't think it was timely in that situation because unbeknownst to him, he did not know the very troubling 2018 that I had. I was able to, really keep that away from many people. And I think I only let my guard down and let, a few people know how bad I was really doing. So, I can't put no shade on my dad for that lesson, though, to be humble. But for me, I've always felt like I was not good enough or really trying to measure up. I wrote an article about imposter syndrome, that feeling that you don't belong in certain circumstances. You feel like your accolades, your work is not valid. It's luck. You kind of devalue yourself. And so I'm really working on that in the new year of no, I'm not going to be humble. Um, and when I say I'm not going to be humble, I'm not saying in the sense that I'm going to be cocky, arrogant, condescending to other people. It's more like a joke. Like I'm not going to be humble. Like if something good happens for me, or I do something well, then I'm going to be confident. Like I'm going to embrace compliments. I'm going to embrace successes because I know in my heart and my effort that I put the work in to yield those results. Like they didn't just happen. Like I'm not just lucky. Um, I am very blessed to have good people. I'm really blessed to have support. I'm really blessed to even have people that help me get to my goals because um, in this 2019, all the things that I was able to accomplish wasn't alone. I needed help. I needed friends and family and support. But I still put in the work to accomplish things. And so when I say no, humble season is over, meaning I'm not going to devalue or give that negative self-talk that I always give to myself, like, you don't belong here, or that negative self-talk like, oh, you're just lucky, anyone can do this. Well, there's certain things where maybe a lot of people can do it, but there's certain things I need to embrace that I have a skill or I'm actually good at something. Like, that's okay to acknowledge that you're good at something, right? Maybe not to say like I'm so good that other people are bad. That's not the point of this. It's more like the acknowledgement in yourself, right? Like if you ask Michael Jordan if he was a good basketball player, he would say, "Yeah, I'm pretty good. Like I'm good." Like he believes in his strengths and his skills, and even to break it down further, he'd probably be like, "Oh, I'm good at X, Y, and Z. Like I'm really good at scoring and passing. Maybe not rebounding as much." And so like he embraced his strengths. Um, and so I'm really gonna have to really work on this self-talk in the new year. This no humble season. I'm gonna use that hashtag if I am, the work that I do yields more success, if it yields it, because I'm still gonna put in a lot of effort, not necessarily because you put in so much effort do you get awards, but maybe I'll help someone or help a student or really just do well at my job where I feel confident. If someone gives me a compliment, I'm gonna just take it. And it also reminds me of a story recently. I acknowledge that I do a lot of attention-seeking behavior. Your boy likes attention, seeking praise and affirmations. Like I think my love language. I don't think I know my love language is words of affirmation, but I do a lot of attention-seeking behavior where I I'll say, "Yo, what you think about me?" And I'll see if my friends will comment like they. So I did one recently. It was like, "Yo, use one word to describe me," and I was really happy that words that people describe me as kind and helpful and friendly, just things like that, because I try to walk in those words, right? I try to if someone thinks I'm a kind person, I think I'm a kind person. I try to think of the actions of a kind person. I try to live it. Like I live by those words. Like I take a lot of pride and joy in being known as someone that's kind, because that's the kind of person I want to be. But one word that came up that was caught me off guard was persistent. I got it from Janet Hickle. She's awesome. I met her through my professional associations for career counseling, and I think our budding friendship. I'm a super extrovert, so the listeners to know that if I rock with you, I'm an aggressive friend, and I thought that's where she was going with it, because she's a little bit more quiet than I am, but. So I wrote back and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry that I was persistent and I was, too aggressive as a friend and all those things." And she said, "At what point?" I just put one word. Why did you already, at what point did you take it as a negative? And that was no shade to her. That was actually her insight and awareness was super helpful to check me, because that was already that negative self-talk. She was giving me a positive word of affirmation, or maybe something that people like to be considered persistent. And I already started doing that negative self-talk. I already started doing the devaluing of myself. I already started doing self-deprecation and really thinking like that wasn't, that's not good. And that's the opposite of no humble season. She gave me a word, a strength, and I should have just walked in that and said, thank you so much. I appreciate you thinking about me in that light. And I still work on that too. Like, a lot of people do give me compliments. And I always say, I'm all right. They're like, Phil, man, you really helped me out. I'm like, all right. Anyone would have done that. And I need to work. And humble season is to, no humble season. If someone gives me a compliment, I take it at what it is, say, thank you so much. I really appreciate you thinking about it. And if it's something positive, just accept it and hold it rather than say, nah, that's not me, or nah, I don't know who you see, or, Philip, you did really well. Nah, yeah, you're just saying that because you're my friend. Well, maybe no. Maybe they're saying it and they're comfortable saying it to me because they're my friend. But at the end of the day, that their word is truth. Like, that word, if it's something that's truthful and I did the actions that ward that compliment, then I need to accept it. So thank you so much, Janet, for those words. Also, thank you just like checking me. I need people to check me. So I'm going to use the hashtag No Humble Season. And I want to give a call to my friends and family. If you see me start having, if you give me some positive reinforcement and you start seeing me go down the rabbit hole of negative self-talk or self-deprecation, check me. I need my friends to check me for No Humble Season. Like, Phil, you're working really hard. And I say, thank you. And so that's what I'm going to work on in 2020. It's like really put in the work, put my head down to the grindstone, grind it out. But if I yield good things happen, accept that and take it for what it is and be proud of myself and stop, telling, downgrading it. And I said one more joke was that people will know me. If you're my friend, I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm your biggest hype man. I'm your Flavor Flav for others. But I swear I don't think I'm that for myself. I honestly was saying if I could take the negative self-talk and make it a person, I would beat them up. I would hate them. I wouldn't rock with that dude because I don't talk to myself as well as I talk to people that I care about. I'm like, man, I see you doing big things, and I really believe that for my friends and family. But my inner self would not be as nice, and I would want to really swear to square up with that dude. Like why is this dude not as nice to me as I am to others? So I'm really work on that. That dude, that inner ill feel, as they say. So that is, just how I feel going into this 2020. I want to give a podcast update. So I'm really appreciative. I like the structure of doing seasons. And so I'm going to do a little mid-season break or a season break for January. I don't know, parts of February, not sure yet. And I'm not going to release 2 episodes. I'm going to let myself catch up like I did over the summer. So we're going to come back with a season 3 finalized date to be determined. But in that meantime, while I'm recording and stuff, I'm going to continue to record content because as I come back, I realize those Friday episodes, calling them bonus episodes, they're not really bonus episodes. So when I come back for the podcast for season 3, the normal format will be a new episode on Monday, a new episode on Friday. I like the 2 episodes a week structure. And so I'm going to take a break. No new episodes. I'm going to just re-release some old ones. People can catch up, share. I did recently the top 10 most downloaded episodes of all time. And so when I come back in February, we'll be ready to go for season 3. I also want everyone that's listening to the podcast, if you're a real fan of the podcast, mark your calendar for April 11th, Saturday, April 11th. I'm going to host my first live podcast in front of an audience. Details will come out and roll out in the new year, but that date is finalized. We have a venue secured, but I just want to put that out there. So it's September 11th. Saturday, starting at 7, if you need to know exactly what time to mark your calendars for those parents out there. So mark your calendars. If you follow along with the podcast, you're in the DMV area, you want to come out to the live show, just mark your calendars just to have it held on your calendars and your planners. But more details will come out later, and I'm really excited for that. So that's kind of the 2 announcements, a podcast break till February and then the live episode. Also, I'm just really, really appreciative of everyone that's followed the podcast. This new year is super, super exciting. I'm really excited to see the fruits of the work that I put in, the foundation I put in for 2019, to see what happens in 2020. As I said earlier, 2018, the early 2018 was not a good place for me. But I started diving into well-being and diving into journaling and diving into if I'm not really happy in this situation, what can I do tangibly? And as I seen it grow and go up and up, the end of 2018 was very optimistic and felt good, and lots of good things were coming. 2019 was just a great, phenomenal year. Just lots of nice things, meeting new people. It was just a really good year. And I really feel like momentum is carrying me into 2020. Now, maybe it won't be the best year. Maybe it will be a mixture of ups and downs. But mentally, I feel way better than I probably have ever felt in quite some time. I feel like this is my year. This is no humble season. I'm going to really set forth some goals, attack the goals, go forward, go at them. Maybe have some failures along the way, things that might not go the way I planned, but in the pursuit of those goals, I'm still better off than where I started. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to close out this episode by a little snippet from Hillard. He's been a great supporter of the podcast. Please continue to listen. If you have any questions for the podcast, call 571-336-6560. That's 571-336-6560, or just follow Positive Philter and all things. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
You guys have just listened to another episode of Positive Philter. 2019, we achieved while remaining humble. Now, humble season is over. Let us be more aggressive towards our goals. Envision and carry out your plan towards your success. Remember, even in failure, there is success. Happy New Year. Let's get it.
Thank you for listening to Positive Philter, a podcast that focuses on family, friends, career, with a little self-help along the way. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with your family and friends, and like the Facebook page, Spreading Positivity Movement. Thanks for listening.